Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show you my Hoya gracilis. Hoya gracilis is a small Hoya. It has leaves that are, well, significantly smaller than the leaves of Hoya carnosa, which is the most common Hoya in people's collections, on people's windowsills, in people's houses. I just wanted to show you how the leaves compare to my hand. So this is a small Hoya, and this Hoya is in bloom, and I am very excited about it, very happy about it. Here is the flower, or the flowers, because it's not a single flower, it's an inflorescent. I hope you can see it. I hope the camera is showing it to you, but that the flowers are heavy with nectar. Hoya, not only this one, all Hoyas, I think, are pollinated by night pollinators, by moths, and I'm not sure what else. I think moths. And they can't rely on being very showy flowers with flashy colors. On the contrary, they are either night pollinated flowers are either white or insignificant completely, and they have to rely on something else to attract the pollinators. They have to attract on scent, and also they have to bribe the pollinators in order for them to come to the flower. So this Hoya is bribing the pollinators with nectar. I think this is the nectar that releases the scent, or maybe not, because the scent is only can be only detected at night. It would be a huge waste of energy to produce the scent during the day. So they are fragrant at night and not during the day. Okay, they are really fragrant Hoyas. When Hoya is in bloom, you can't miss it because you can smell it. It's a very sweet scent. It's a nice scent, but it is so intense. The intensity of it is quite suffocating sometimes, especially when there are multiple inflorescence. So if you can please look at the flowers. It is a five-folded symmetry, just like all Hoyas. However, the petals here are folded towards the center of the flower, on the bottom of the flower, towards the bottom of the flower, or maybe the top, because in this case they are hanging down, those flowers. So we cannot see the petals because the petals are pointed upwards, or I'm not sure how to say. They are folded inwards. Oh, let's put it this way. When the plant is still in, when the flowers are still in buds, they are pentagons. Here are still buds. They are pentagons, and the tips of the future petals are meeting in the center of the bud. And then the petals unfold, but they don't stay flat to create a 5-point star. They are pointing to the other side of the flower. The flowers are growing on a structure. Oh, here is another inflorescence. The flowers are growing from a peduncle. Let me put this stem aside. Okay, so a peduncle is a tiny little stem on which the flowers grow. And in case of Hoyas, the flowers, when they are fading, when they wilt, they just fall down, but the peduncle stays. And next time the plant is producing flowers, it will produce them from the same peduncle. Okay, so in this case, this is the first time this Hoya gracilis, is blooming from this peduncle. In this case, it's not the first time, it's the second time. And if you see the rough part at the very tip of this stem, so the rough part are scars from the previous flowers. And then these flowers will be gone at one point, will fall down, and the peduncle will grow just a tiny little bit to allow new inflorescence, new flowers to develop on it. And as time goes by, the peduncle will be longer and longer and longer, and it can be quite long when the years go by. I've had this Hoya for a long time. However, where I keep it on the windowsill, and it is attached to the top of the windowsill. I moved it here because the light was so strongly, so strong that the image was very blurry, and I couldn't show it to you where it is originally standing and growing. So I had to move it here. So I've had this plant for a long time, for years, and it is a very easily flowering Hoya. It's a very easy Hoya. However, where it was, the stems were too heavy, the plant grew too large for where it was, where it usually is, that I had to trim it. I trimmed it about 3 years ago or so. I trimmed all the stems on which there were peduncles. So in order to bloom, the Hoya needed to create new stems with new peduncles. And it took it 3 years to do so. What happened, the shock of the plant that the plant underwent when I trimmed it, plus the fact that I left the plant with my neighbor for about a month, and my neighbor, she was watering it, but she was not watering it enough, and as the result, the plant went into a state of dormancy, or maybe a state of deep stress. I'm not sure how to call it, because usually I water it in this bowl, and when the water is gone, and it goes quite quickly, I fill it up again, and that's the cycle. And I fill it up in summertime, even every 5 days maybe. In the winter, obviously, much less than that. But the water was not going away from the bowl when I was watering it, when the plant was in this state of dormancy or a state of shock. The plant was not doing anything. If you can see, please have a look at these brown leaves. They are newly growing leaves. This is the new growth. The green leaves that are here are the old leaves that were here originally before I trimmed the plants. They are the same leaves. However, when the plant was dormant, they were much grayer. They were much less intensely green. Okay? So the plant was not, the leaves were not evaporating the water. The water was not evaporating from the leaves, I should rather say. And the plant was not doing anything. It was just there without growing, just sitting here. And I thought I would lose it because there was no indication of life from this plant. And then eventually a new growth appeared, new leaves formed, and then I started watering it more and more and more, and the plant grew, and then the plant produced peduncles on which there are flowers. So I don't know what I will do, because where it is, the plant, it cannot be much larger than it is now. So we'll see. I might trim it again, but I will have to be much more careful, maybe less of a length to leave the peduncles. That's one thing, but also not to create the shock for the plant, because I think it is it stopped growing because of the shock. That's what I think. So if you would like to share your plant cutting with someone, please be careful, not make the cutting too long, because for the plant it might be like based on this experience, it might be a shock for the plant. And it's very easy to create cuttings, to root the cuttings. You just put the stem in the water and it very easily produces roots. Sometimes it produces roots even on the stem when it's growing. Maybe not on this specimen. Maybe Hoya gracilis is not the one that does it easily, but Hoya carey, for example, produces roots all along the stem as it grows. And this is because Hoyas are epiphytic plants, which means they grow on trees, so they just take roots wherever they can along their stems. If there is a spot in bark of the trunk of the tree, or maybe on a branch where there is some organic matter accumulating, that's where Hoya will take roots. And also not only to have nutrients, to provide nutrients for the plant, but also to attach itself to the bark of the tree on which it is growing, or to the tree on which it is growing, to be able to grow up and up. Okay. So this is my Hoya gracilis. Very easy plant to keep, unless you unless you stress it too much. Okay, I strongly recommend it. It's a very, very rewarding plant. It's not as big as Carnosa. It's smaller, equally beautiful, equally nice as Carnosa. Okay, and when it blooms, what a satisfaction, what a pleasure. Okay, so this is my Hoya gracilis, the leaves, the flowers. I'm happy to be able to show you that it is growing happily, because, as I said, there was a moment when I thought that I would lose it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great rest of the day.